I called, no one answered, and within seconds I got a text back, had a full conversation with an AI, even told it to prepare me some coffee for tomorrow, and it booked me in for a haircut, all while the barber never put down their clippers. Barbershops lose clients every single day to missed calls, and most owners have no idea it's even happening. Today I'm showing you how to fix that automatically. What's up, I'm Adhiraj, and let's say a guy needs a fresh cut before his job interview. Calls his usual spot but nobody picks up. So he calls a place down the road and then books him there. And thus the original barber never knew that he lost that client. Today we're building the system that stops that from happening using n8n, Twilio, and ChatGPT. Let's get into it. So there's two key pieces working together here. First is the instant text back. The moment someone's call hits voicemail, Twilio is going to catch it and then fire a text within seconds. We're going to program it to be simple, casual, and it's going to sound like a human. From there, the second piece kicks in, which is the AI booking assistant, which is the bottom area right here. Once that person texts back, ChatGPT is going to take over the entire conversation. It's going to check Google Calendar for open slots. It's going to ask what they're coming in for, whether that's a cut, beard trim, shape up, or the full works. It's going to figure out which barber they prefer if the shop has multiple stylists. And based on how urgent it sounds, it's either going to lock in something same day or push it to a quieter part of the week, so then the prime weekend slots don't get eaten up by some low urgency bookings. The whole thing runs over a normal text thread, iMessage, with no booking links needed because person who called, right, we're assuming they don't want any friction. Most of us don't want any friction. They just want their haircut. Okay, so now that you have an idea of what we're building, let's talk about how to build this. First off, you're going to need an account in Twilio. So go to twilio.com, create your account, and then grab a phone number. This essentially feeds every missed call to our automation back in n8n. So when a call comes in and nobody answers, whether the line be busy or drops or rings out, Twilio is going to take all that call data and then send it to n8n via the n8n webhook that we're going to set up. Now for client deployment, you've got two options here. Number one is you can spit up a dedicated Twilio number. And the second option is you set up call forwarding from whatever number that the shop is already using on their Google business listing or website. Now the good news is you don't have to build this from scratch. Inside my school community, there's going to be a dedicated module for this tutorial with the complete JSON attached. So all you need to do is grab it from there, click these three dots, and then click import from file. Then you're going to have the top flow and the bottom flow appear just like this for you. Now the top flow handles a missed call detection and it's going to fire that first text. The bottom flow runs the full booking conversation. Let's walk through both. All right, so the top flow covers a missed call detection on the first touch point. It's going to start with this webhook note. Every time someone calls a shop's line, Twilio is going to send the call data here with the caller's number, the call status, and that call status is what tells us that the call wasn't picked up. Next, we have an HTTP request node, which just runs the number through an API layer to make sure it's legit. There's no point in wasting money sending text to garbage data. Now, after that, we have an if node, which essentially checks the call status. If it's busy, no answer, or failed, the workflow is going to move forward. But if the call actually connects, everything stops, we don't proceed because there's nothing left to do. Then after this, we have a wait node that's just going to hold for 5 seconds to make sure that the call is fully closed before anything sends. We don't want a text firing while someone is potentially still on the line. For our top flow, we have this Twilio send node, which is basically going to send our opening text. Over here, I've programmed it to say, hey, this is Dre from Fresh Fades. Sorry I missed you. What can I book you in for? So super casual, conversational, not a promo. Okay, now let's move on to the bottom flow. This is the intelligent booking conversation flow. And so over here, we also start off with a webhook. And this webhook is basically listening for incoming text now. Every time a person replies, Twilio is going to forward that message and their number into this flow. Okay. Now from here, we have Google Sheets lookup node. Now let me show you what this Sheets is referring to. It's referring to this sheet right here. And what this node is doing is it's checking this Google Sheet if we've seen this number before. If we have, then we grab their existing appointment ID. So the AI knows whether this is a new booking or a reschedule. If it's a new contact, then we just start fresh. Okay. Next, we have a code node over here for extracting the ID. This just grabs the latest appointment ID when one exists, which is to prevent duplicate calendar entries if someone just wants to shift their time. We don't want to double book them. Then after this, we log the inbound message to Google Sheets. It's timestamped as tagged as direction in, so you've got a full conversation archive building up over time. After this, we have another code node, and what this is doing is we're basically injecting the current date and time into the workflow. This part is actually needed because our AI does hallucinate quite a bit, and you might need to fine-tune this even more depending on the model that you end up using if it's not the one used in this workflow. The AI needs to know exactly when now is considered, so it doesn't suggest slots that have already passed. It just grabs the current hour and minute in the shop's local time zone and then passes it downstream. Now we hit the AI scheduling node, which is powered by OpenAI. It's wired up to 5 tools here. Tool 1 is get availability, which essentially queries Google Calendar. It's going to return what's already blocked. So an empty response means that the schedule is wide open. Next, we have tool 2, which is creating the event. This basically builds the appointment once the time is confirmed. It's going to log the client's name, what they're in for, all the information that the barber needs. Tool 3 is save appointment ID, which writes the booking reference back to Sheets immediately after creation so we can pull it later in the case we need to reschedule. Next, we have update event tool. When someone already has a booking and wants to move it, this just edits the existing calendar entry instead of making a duplicate. Tool 5 is a date and time calculator, which the AI uses to figure out what date tomorrow is, and it'll actually land on or how many days out Friday is. Also super important, our AI has conversation memory, and this context length determines how far back it remembers in our conversation, and you can always increase or decrease this. And now, what exactly are we measuring the length of, you might ask? It's all these entries over here, which is everything the AI says and also everything the human says. And also, if you ever need to clear the whole memory, you just have to delete everything in here and then go over here and increment this right here. So we can increment it to 11. Okay, and always hit save. Once the AI generates its reply, we use a Twilio send node. So all this is doing is it's pushing it back out through Twilio. And then after this, we immediately log it to our Google Sheets with the direction tagged as out. So now at this point, you've got a super clean, fully audited record of every message sent and received on both sides. All right, so now how do we integrate this with Twilio? You want to grab this for top webhook and bottom webhook and simply just copy what I have. So the top webhook goes in these two and then the bottom webhook goes over here. Okay, it's a very straightforward setup. Let's go back to n8n. Now also you're going to need to connect your Google Calendar to your actual calendar. Just go in here and just connect it via this dropdown and make sure you've obviously connected your Google account to n8n and do the exact same thing for your Google Sheets notes. Okay, then you should be totally good to go. Okay, now let's actually open up the AI scheduling node and look at the system prompt. So this is what controls how the AI communicates, what questions it asks, and more importantly, when it's going to call each tool. So you want to start by updating the shop name, the barber's name, business hours, and time zone to your actual business details. You can also control the qualification flow up front here, since some shop owners want to know up front which barber the client prefers, while others want to capture the service first so they can block the right amount of time. Shape up might be 20 minutes, full cut and beard is closer to 45. All that logic is going to live in this prompt. So fully customize it to your use case. We just went through the full setup. If you still have questions, drop it in my school community and we'll get it answered. Now let's go ahead and demo this. So make sure your workflow is set to active and I'm going to give our Twilio number a call. It's going to go directly to voicemail. Text came in. Awesome. So yeah, it said, hey, this is Dre from Fresh Fades. Sorry, I missed you. What can I book you in for? Now let's actually switch to the view of our spreadsheet so you can see it logging in real time. I'm going to be super straight with it. I mean, I actually need to get a haircut soon. So gentleman's cut. And it popped up right here. Direction in. Happy to help. What's your name? So everything's getting logged right here. And if something ever breaks, the execution log tells you exactly where, right? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a Google Auth issue or a time zone mismatch. So fix those and then you're live. What service are you looking for? Haircut, beard trim, haircut plus beard, lineup, kids cut, or something else. Okay, so we'll just say just the haircut. Do you have a preferred barber? So we can say, yeah, Andy. It's the name of my actual barber. Any important notes for the barber? Maybe we can tell him, like, prepare me some coffee, please. I would obviously never actually say this to a barber, but, you know, we're doing a demo. Well, that's funny. I can't prepare coffee, but I'm here to help with your appointment. The AI thinks I'm asking you to actually prepare coffee. Okay, I'll just tell it, no, I mean the barber. Notes for him. So it said, thanks for clarification. No notes for the barber is totally fine. I'm going to say, no, that was a note for the barber. So it should be able to actually pick up and correct its mistake. Got it. So You would like me to note, prepare me some coffee for the barber? Yes, perfect. So, took some conversation, but it'll get it. Let's say tomorrow at, let's check the calendar. Let's do tomorrow at, okay, it actually gave me some times. 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 2 p.m. Let's do 2 p.m. There we go. It actually booked me in for a fresh fades appointment tomorrow. Even had my notes in here, prepare me some coffee, name, preferred barber, Andy. Everything looks correct. Even the time is correct. Looks perfect. Okay. So think about what just happened. I called, no one answered, and within seconds I got a text back, had a full conversation with an AI, even told it to prepare me some coffee for tomorrow, and it booked me in for a haircut, all while the barber never put down their clippers. Barbershops are missing calls constantly, and most owners know it. They just don't have a fix. A busy single barbershop can easily miss 10 to 20 calls a week, and that's real revenue walking straight to their competitors. When you show an owner this and say every missed call gets a text back in seconds and books itself into your calendar with all the notes needed, they get it immediately. No technical explanation is needed. The recurring revenue pitch is real too. This system runs every day, whether the owner's cutting, at the supply store closed for the night, doesn't matter. One new loyal customer from a recovered call covers months of your service fee. The ROI just sells itself here. And unlike a lot of AI tools, this one just isn't threatening. You're not replacing the barber, you're making sure that they never lose a booking to a missed call again. And that's your complete barbershop booking system. Full JSON workflows and prompt files are inside my school community. The link is going to be below. I'm also running a free 5-day sprint in there, one action per day built to get you your first AI agency client in under a week. If this helped, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment with which industry you want me to build out next, and I'll see you in the next one.